How's it going, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be doing my review of the Sony Rx0ii, you guys. Here it is, the tiniest vlogging camera out there, made by Sony, you guys. Now there's a lot of things to go over and we're about to get into it right now. All right, you guys, we're just gonna get right into it, you guys. The smallest vlogging camera out there right now, you guys. So one of the things and one of the reasons I really bought this camera, you guys, because I really wanted something that I can take on the go without any issues and can just throw in my pocket and take it with me, you guys. Now, one of the things is that I really enjoy vlogging. It's something that I wanted to do, but I don't want to be carrying something so big as the Sony Rx100s or any of those other vlogging cameras, the 6400 that just came out by Sony. So I decided to give this a try, and this is the Sony Rx0ii, you guys. Now, one of the things with it that I really enjoyed is that it's tiny and it has a dope flip-up screen, you guys. With that flip-up screen, one thing that I really enjoyed, you guys, is to being able to control my shots and take these selfies whenever I went out with friends and families. You guys, I have tried this out for about 2 weeks now, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on it. I'm going to tell you the features on it, and I don't really want to give you pros and cons, because some of my pros and can be your cons, and some of my cons can be your pros. So I'm just going to tell you my experience. I'm going to share with you some of the features that it has with it, and you can decide for yourself whether it's a camera for you or if it's not. One of the main features that this camera sells is that it can shoot up to 4K 30 frames per second, you guys. That's a QFHD. That is insane for being so tiny. I mean, one of the things that I compare this to, you guys, is to a business card. So if you see this thing can literally hide behind a business card. And that's one of the things that really made it important for me, was to be able to just toss this in my pocket and on the way I go. Now, along with the 4K 30 frames per second, you guys, it means that it's up to, so you can do 1080, you can drop it down to 720, and so on and so forth, you guys. So there's a lot of options for you to play with. Now, some of the big features that it sells on as well is being waterproof and dustproof, up to 33 feet. So anything below that, you might be having issues with the camera. You might be, going beyond its limits right there. I just took it out to a day with a bunch of friends up in Tahoe, you guys, and in this video you're gonna see me go into the water, and you're gonna hear some of the audio change. Now, being a first-time person dropping a camera into water, you guys, this audio might just be because of the water, but it was one of the things that I noticed a difference, is that once you even took it out of water, it didn't clear up the mic. The mic needs to be cleared up by yourself. Now, once again, being first time, you guys, that might be not necessarily a con or a pro. It's just a no too. So check this video out, me putting into it, putting it into the water for the first time, you guys. Fair warning, you're gonna see my sexiness naked, or at least partially naked. So check this video out really quick. All right, you guys, here goes the dive. Not sure how this camera's gonna do. First dive. Do it again. So as you guys can see in the video, I go and take a dive for the first time. The audio completely covers up, you guys, and I think that's just one of the features with the cameras. But as soon as I come back out from it, the water stays like that. The audio stays covered up by the water, you guys. Now in this video, I'm going to show you really quick a quick little snippet of me talking to my friend Adrian, and this was about 45 minutes after I went into the water, you guys. The audio is still muffled, and once again, it's not a pro and con, it's just a need to know. Had I known that before, I would have cleared out the mic area, or at least shaken it off or cleared it up, so that I knew. But there was a lot of you that was no longer useful to me because of that audio. Finally cooking it up. It's on the grill this time. It's about time you get on that damn grill. It's usually meat. Everybody's tired of you and yo. Alright, you guys, so as you guys saw in the video, it was still muffled about 45 minutes after I had already put it into the water. Now, with that being said, you guys, in this next video, I really did challenge the camera a little bit. Here's some of my friends having a chicken fight in Lake Tahoe, you guys. I brought it out of water and into the water to see how it handled the quality and switching situations that quick. And you guys, it handled really well. So take a look, real close look at this video. Once again, the audio is going to be muffled, and that's a fair warning. That has to do with, once again, dipping it into water, not knowing to clear it up before recording again.
Sure. We got a challenger. Get him.
So as you guys can see, the audio was kind of muffled still, but it was able to handle really well coming in and out of water, you guys, especially during that chicken fight. Just so you know, Rx0ii probably won that. It was probably rigged, just so you guys know. But moving on to the other features, you guys, the camera also is advertised as being crush proof. Now, I didn't test this because I don't want to crush the camera. I don't want to know if it can sustain that much pressure, you guys, but it is crush proof. And that's something that it's very important, especially to travelers or people that are going out a lot with it, that are just going to put it in their pocket and on the go, right? Now, there is a feature that a lot of people really enjoy and has been advertised a lot, and that is that the camera can shoot up to 960 frames per second, you guys. Now, for being this small, you guys, 950 frames per second is insane. Now, I use a Sony A7 for other shooting, for photography, for professional video, so higher grade quality, and it only shoots up to 120 frames per second. Now, imagine this shooting at 960 frames per second. Now, there is a little bit of a downfall. The higher you go with the frames per second, the lower quality you're going to get. At 960 frames per second, you're only going to get up to maybe a 720, you guys. Now, keep that in mind. If you're shooting that high, keep that in mind, that maybe these videos might only be for social media or it might be for a smaller frame, but that is not something big that you can use. Now, once again, not a pro or a con just because I don't do it. It is kind of nice, and in this video, I actually shot at 240 frames per second. It's just my buddy cooking up burgers, and as you guys can see in the sizzling right here, it's awesome. It's slowed down, it's easy to go, it's a camera in my pocket. To be able to do that was insane, especially just being out and about with a bunch of friends, you guys. If you do this just for friends, just for your own thing, it's a great camera, right? If you do this professionally, maybe that 960 frames per second isn't going to work for you, just because you can't blow it up to be that high of 4K or even 1080 at some points, right? So the increments change the amount and size that you can export out the video. One of the other great things about this, you guys, is the photos. The photos that it comes with, you guys, has an approximately 15.3 megapixel sensor in it, you guys, which is super nice. It's almost close to the A7 III, you guys. This A7 III has 22.3 megapixels, so you're not too far out. And for it to be this tiny, you guys, it just blew my mind. Now, I'm going to show you some pictures here. I'm going to show you the RAW and the JPEG so you can see the quality of what it's showing. Now, one of these pictures, me and my girlfriend are outside of Tahoe, and we're outside of the water, so it's really nice, you guys. You can see the crisp colors, and it's really nice to be able to choose JPEG and RAW, or just one or the other, you guys, because if you're just uploading it to your phone or you're going to post it on social media, it's great to just have the JPEG. Now, in this other image, me and my girlfriend are underwater. The camera handled it a lot better than Macy did. As you can see in the picture, she could not open her eyes. The camera handled this well, you guys. Handled it completely amazing. And I couldn't be happier about that, you guys, because to be able to have it just on the go and not have to do manual settings, which is an option, but for me it was, I didn't want to have that time taken away from my friends and my family just to be switching settings. I put it in auto, which is really nice for me, you guys. So to be able to see that has been phenomenal. Now, one of the downsides, you guys, and I say downsides because it was for me and it continues to be, is that the battery only has a time limit about 35 minutes. Now, it depends on what you're doing and if that really matters to you. Now, one of the things with it being 35 minutes, you guys, it's not really a pro or con once again, and the only reason, you guys, is to be able to shoot at 4K for 35 minutes on something this tiny is insane. Now, when I say that, you guys, you cannot shoot continuously for 45 minutes, right? The camera will start heating up at approximately 10, 11, 12 minutes. Some people have said 10. I've heard 12. I got right in the middle, about 11 and a half minutes before it shut down because of overheating. But you guys, that is technology we didn't even have 4 years ago. To see something this tiny at 4K 30 frames per second is beyond phenomenal. It is really a really advancement in technology, right? So that's one of the things that you have to consider before purchasing it. Are you going to be shooting 30-second loops? Are you going to be shooting a minute loop? Or are you going to be doing YouTube videos with it, right? So some of these YouTube videos can go for as long as 10, 11, 15, 30 minutes. Now you might not be able to do that continuously because of that limit with the heating in the system, which once again, not a pro or con. Now if you do it in increments of 1 minute, you're only vlogging behind the scenes of your shoots, behind the scenes of family events, whatever it may be, then this camera might be for you, right? Because you're only shooting in increments, small increments, and that's really what you really need to capture from that, is that battery. Now for me, during this shoot, I wanted to do a behind the scenes video of the shoot that I did with Janine. The only problem, you guys, that I had is I only shot for about 3 minutes before the battery was down to 1 bar, and that was an issue for me. I didn't continue recording. I wasn't able to finish my video because of that issue, you guys. Now there is some factors of the weather. It was hot outside, but it wasn't extremely hot, and that might be some factors, right? Whether if I put it in water, it might be cooling down a little bit better than being out in 90-degree weather. And that was an issue for me, you guys. I charged it all night, and I still couldn't get it to work. It kind of just told me that it was dead after 2.5 minutes of recording, which to me is an issue, guys. And it should be an issue to you guys, because if you're recording something that is 3 minutes long and the battery dies on you, then what was the point of buying the camera if you can't capture that one moment, right? So for my final thoughts on this camera, you guys, I personally really enjoyed the camera. I think it's a great vlogging camera. It currently is about $698 right now for the price. Now I went ahead, you guys, and bought the Sony VGT, which is the tripod slash holder slash recorder slash additional attachment, however you want to see, you guys. One of the things with this attachment that I really enjoyed was that I have the button, zoom, and movie function on it, and with that, you guys, I was able to switch between the two functions with no worries, with no needing to reset the settings. There was some times where I did have to do that, but that's typical, right? If you're on video, you can't take pictures, and vice versa. Sometimes that's just how it goes. Now if you set it on full auto, you're not gonna have an issue with that, you guys. With the VCT, I really liked it because it's small, it's portable, and it's only one connection. The only downside with buying the VGT, you can't take it on the water. So the tripod itself, the handle itself, is not waterproof where the camera is. So I couldn't take it underwater with me, you guys, which is not necessarily a bad thing, right? It's not necessarily a pro or con. Once again, it's just my experience, and it depends on what you're trying to do. I did enjoy the 4K, you guys. The 4K is insane for being how small of a camera is. One of the downsides that I also had, you guys, was the single point focus, which was terrible because you have to refocus every time you're gonna shoot. Some of the images I took with my friends, it focused on me versus the entire scene, and kept them blurred in the background in the bokeh, you guys, and I did not like that. And to say, am I going to keep it or if I'm going to send it back, you guys, I'm going to send it back. And the reason for, you guys, I didn't like the battery life. I don't go underwater enough to justify spending that much money on a camera that I'm not going to be able to use to its full functionality. I really take care of my gear, so I don't see myself ever sitting on it. It's a possibility, but it just doesn't work for me. Secondly, you guys, I'll never shoot up to 960 frames per second. Is it pretty cool? Yeah, but that's just not something I do. I shoot at 120 sometimes for slow motion shots with my A7 III, but other than that, you guys, I don't really use that, so I can't justify buying this. So I will be sending it back, but once again, you guys, I hope this was informative enough for you guys to make a decision on whether you want to buy the camera or not. If you're a Sony user already, any Sony, you're gonna recognize the menu on this because it's almost identical to the Sony A7 III that I currently have, and it's identical setup to pretty much any other Sony A600, A6000, A63, A64, the A7 II, very identical menu, you guys, and it'll be easy to go ahead. But once again, you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I hope you guys can make an easier decision before purchasing it, and I hope you guys can like, share, and subscribe. And if you hit that little bell down next to the subscription button. You'll be notified every time that I post something, guys. And I hope you guys enjoy this review.